Hey guys, it's Tim. The video that we're about to get into right now is a live segment from our protocols training program. I'm going to break down objections. I'm going to role play. I'm going to be training our people, our top performing closers, on how to handle objections better. We go through different scenarios and situations that you might be experiencing on your calls. So this is a really, really good one. Just pure hours of content. I haven't edited it yet, so I don't know how long the video is going to be, but I suspect it'll be an hour to 2 hours of pure fire training right here. This video alone is worth like $1,000 and can make you tens of thousands of dollars if you apply it correctly. And it comes from our protocols training program. So just listen in, get your notepad out, lock in, and take the value from this one. There's a lot of insights. There's a lot of good things you'll pick up from it, and it'll get you to where you need to be. Watch, learn, observe. Prepare to take action and add these things to your own closing skills. And if you go through this and you feel like, hey, like there's a lot of value and I want to see how Tim or the team can help me get results, you want to work with me directly on this, there's a link to book a strategy call on our team's calendar. It's not a sales call. It's 15 minutes where we'll figure out if you're a good fit to work with us and if we'd be a good fit to work with you, vice versa. You know, it's a relationship. So you click the link below, book a strategy call with us. It's going to be 15 minutes. It's not a sales call. There's no pitching. We have a 2-call close process, which I say I'm very open about that. We're not going to close you on the first call. If you want to work with us, you have to go through 2 calls so we can vet you and see if we would want to work with you as well, because it's a mutual relationship. Okay, but check out the video. Let's get into it. I'm excited to see how this works for you. And if you have any questions on the training we just did and how it works, let me know below in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to help. I respond to all of them. Okay, see you then. Okay. Um, so let's go, Michael. You'll kick us off today.
Cool.
How about you rip with let's rip with Anthony. Anthony, you cool to prospect? You good? Okay, let's go with
Yep.
Anthony.
All right, let's
Um,
go.
Anthony, I'm going to send you a very specific objection. Can you make it the ecomm offer, Michael? The ecomm
Yeah.
offer.
Okay. What do we go?
All right, Anthony, I think you should be good now.
Yep. Cool.
One more second. Okay, you're good. Does the instructions make sense, Anthony?
Yep.
Cool. Let's go.
Cool. So, Anthony, that's everything that I have for you, brother. That's how the program works and how we're going to help you to scale to those 15, 20K months like you've been wanting. The investment's going to be 4K. And from here, we just get you on your first call with your coach, and then get you started in the program, and really just kick off this journey for you. How do you feel?
No, that sounds fantastic. Um, can we, well, first off, can you drop that in an email? And then I would like to just mull that around, and then can we like regroup, say, this time next week?
Yeah, no problem at all. Before I send you that email and before we bounce off this call, do you feel like with what I just went over that we can actually help you to scale to those 15K months? Or
Yeah,
how
I
do you
do.
think
Yeah,
that's the most
yeah.
important? Okay, awesome. So why do you feel like we actually can?
I really like the blueprint that you had proposed to me. I really like that idea of stair stepping to objections. I really enjoyed that.
Okay, 100%. That makes sense, man. So when it comes to email, what are you kind of looking for specifically in the email? Because when I do send it to you, it's going to be like 7 to 8 words because everything that I would send is what we've already gone through. So what are you kind of looking for specifically in the email?
Well, it's just so that I can mull it over. It's it's the 21st, right? The holidays are coming. My son's birthday's on Christmas. And I've just got other stuff on my mind right now that I just want to be able to kind of park that and mull that over the time. That's why I was hoping to regroup with you next week.
Okay, awesome. So, I mean, kind of but this is important for you now, right, Anthony?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, tell me more about like why you want to push it off and come back next week versus just starting now.
Yeah, well, it's the holidays. I just want to get that behind me. You know what I mean? Right now, my focus on that. I've got family coming into town.
Sure.
So it's all the logistics of people in and out, dinners, travel, that kind of stuff that I want to get started with this, but I want to make sure that my head's in the right space. And that's why I was taking the call, learn everything about you guys. I think you guys can really help me out. Um, Now I know what it's going to cost, what the investment is going to be. So now I can, just kind of I know what I want to do. I just need to get through this holiday season. That's all.
And totally fine, Anthony. When does the holiday season kind of end for you?
I would probably say my son's birthday is on Christmas. My brother's birthday is on the 27th. Let me look at the calendar. So yeah, probably yeah. Like I said, about this time next week,
About the next week.
is really the time frame where all of that's behind me. I don't do New Year's, so you don't have to worry about that.
Gotcha. I mean, that's easy stuff. I know this is important for you now. So what we can do is just get you started here and then pause you for the next week so that you can focus on the holidays with your brother's birthday, son's birthday, and then we can reconvene next week and get you started then. But the commitment to actually start making changes can be made here today.
Remember,
Mm,
guys, when you say this, it needs to be more convincing. I'm not happy with it, Michael. It's okay. You delivered the scripting correct, but usually your scripting is generally fine now. It's the certainty delivery, the way you do it. I didn't like how it sounded. It just sounded too fake. It was like I'm like you're prepared to say this. It has to sound almost like you thought it out as a solution. You guys know how when we talk about like a guarantee, how does it sound? It's not like this is the bad version. It's like, so here's what I can do for you. I'll give you a guarantee that'll make sure you're, I don't say it like that. It's like, here's what I'll do, man. I'll help you with something. Let's say we were to make it so secure in terms of the finances where we'd process it back like within the next, do you hear how I'm saying it? I exaggerated a little bit, but do you hear how it had weight thought behind because it has to be delivered correctly. So with this, you're Anthony, for the purpose of the exercise, should not buy into this anyways. But let's pretend he was a prospect realistically who could. He would not, based on the way you said it, because it just sounded too like you're the sales guy who's like, "Come on in, brother," kind of Andy Elliott style. And Andy Elliott's great, but like it just sounds like fake. So
yeah,
I'd
and
want
that's
you to
where I
do more.
was. I was at
Correct. It sounds very ingenuine. So what I'd want it to sound like, Michael, I'm gonna do it. Anthony will respond. Anthony, you should go more of a no and find a way to deflect it, and then Michael, you'll continue. Anthony, so here's what I would say, and Michael, pay attention to how I say it, my tone, my body language, my eye contact with the camera, everything. Watch how I embody this, really delivering it. Here's what I'd say, Anthony. I don't want you to kind of go through the holidays without the commitment being made to like start making money with your ecom business come January. So what I'd say, and we do this for some of our people, do you see, Michael, how I'm being so genuine in the statement? Even the way I'm everything, how I'm moving, and we do this for some of our people. You can start now, which means we'd onboard you. That'll take like we just take an hour call just to give you all the material so you have access to everything. Take the holiday off. I think we may even be not running all of our sessions fully during that time as well. I'm not 100% sure on that, but we may be missing one or two. And then we'll add the time in so it's not a stress. Like we'll add an extra week or two. And then you kind of officially kick off and start your journey in the program. Let's say after the first, I'm fine aiming for that. After the first, just take this whole holiday season and kind of, get your head wrapped around things. And the first, we kind of officially start you. But in terms of the commitment to begin and to get you rolling, give you access to everything so your head is in the right place, we can make that here, man. How's that sound? Do you hear the difference, Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds good, and I appreciate you, shining a light on that. Um, but really, honestly, I was really looking for information on this call. I had no idea what the investment was going to be, and truly, if you're the right vehicle for this, but I really think you are. So I just want to take the next week or so with all this stuff that I've got going on, and just be fully present for that. I don't want to deal with this right now. I really believe you guys can help, but as soon as this is done, like I said, about next week, then this is behind me and I'm 100% full steam ahead.
Sure. Um, Anthony, I just want to, is it okay if we have kind of like an honest conversation about what may be coming up for you? Because, I understand like with the holidays coming up and you got a whole bunch of things on your plate for the next week or so that you're going to be busy with that. So I really want to get you started here today, man, because I know that this is important for you. You've already mentioned that, we can help you. Is it okay if we have an honest conversation about, what may be coming up for you that makes you want to put it off, aside from just the holiday season and everything going on with that?
Michael, can you
Uh,
explain where you're going? Why are you going this way?
Because for me, I feel like he's using the holidays as an excuse because we've already logically tied up um the holiday thing. We said we can
Correct.
start, and he agreed with it. Um, but he's doubling down now on the holiday thing, and I feel like
Well,
there's things coming up, so I kind of want to just break it.
so the reason I don't like you saying, can we have an honest conversation, is because it's you saying that as a response to someone who's not being honest,
I
essentially.
was gonna
And
jump all over that.
yeah,
Mm.
correct. And he's not being not honest. I mean,
Uh,
he's not
I was
lying
gonna be
actively.
offended. I was gonna be
Yeah.
offended.
I got offended when you said it actually. He wouldn't have been he wasn't like being dishonest or being evasive at all. He's being firm to sticking to his guns, but he has moved off his original point. He hasn't said he moved off the point. You got to listen more intently to everything he says. So, what was the first part of the sentence he said? Yes, before he said, I don't want to do this because of the holidays. I don't want to start now. You did I mean, I handled it with the logic and closed that door, which means like there's no reason to not like commit to this now. So then he shifted off of the holidays are busy. He still said one little statement about the holidays being busy, but he added that in as a sub point. The new
Mm.
point he made was different. He said something else.
So that his head is not in the right space.
No, that's not. It was literally the first statement he said.
He came on the call just to get information.
Correct. That was the problem. So when he says he came in the call to get information, now he's pivoted to a new mask, which is I came here just for information. I didn't come here to make a decision. So now what I need to do is reframe that mask and reopen again. So tell me what's really coming up for you in terms of the thought process, just to see if I can help at the end, right?
Okay.
I don't want to bite on the holiday thing because we've already handled the holiday thing. It doesn't mean he's agreeing to buy, but we've handled the mask. He's not like saying, you know what I mean? He was like, I can't do this because holidays. And then I was like, yeah, no worries about holidays. I agree they're busy, so don't even worry about doing it in the holidays. Then he said, okay, actually, it wasn't that. I just came here for information. And the holidays are busy. So I'm not going to jump all over holidays again because we handled that. And he didn't really anchor his whole statement to holidays. It's now just like, I didn't come here for information. So I
Okay.
really want to take more time and think about it. Right. So I'll give you another shot at it, get it right this time, and do it with better tone. I know you're coughing and stuff, so you're a little under the weather.
No, it's all good. Let's do it. Let's do
Well,
it.
when you're on an offer closing, you're gonna have to make money while hacking and coughing and sick. All
We're all
right.
good. All good. Well, Anthony, I you're on this call for a reason, and you know you've been looking to scale your ecom business from $2,000 a month to 15,000 like for the past year and a half now, right? So I think it's really like you being on this call is you wanting to make changes versus actually just getting information on this call, and that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from you. So would that be fair to say?
Yeah, no,
No,
you're spot on.
it's.
I do want to.
I'm
I
gonna
do
jump
want
in
to.
again, Anthony. I just want Michael to do it right. It wouldn't work well because you're telling him something versus getting him to participate in it. You're saying you came here for this reason. You came here to do this. Saying you came here for this is okay, But it's you're monologuing at him too much. You're defaulting back to the monologuing because Anthony's holding a really, really strong frame here. It's very good practice because a lot of your prospects will do this. So you have to navigate away around it. I'm trying to think, is there a principle we have in like the sheet where I could just tell you do this without just doing it myself? Um, Anthony dug in again and said, like, I came here for information, and you said you came here because you've been in this position for X amount of time, this amount of years or whatever, at this income level. Would that be fair to say? It just doesn't feel good to me. I can't tell you like a blanket like why it doesn't feel good. It just feels bumpy to me. You're telling him think like this. Isn't that true? Or this is what you came here for, bro. Isn't that true? I would rather you do it in a much more smooth and subtle way, especially because he's very sensitive objection handling. He's really digging in on the holidays and has a point. So I'll show you what I would do. I know this is not the best coaching I've ever done here because this one you're very close to it, but there's just something I don't like in the tone and delivery. It's off to me. So I'll just do it and try to take from it what you will, okay? Because sometimes I can only do it by example. I can't talk it out always. So I'll respond to kind of what Anthony said here for information. With all due respect, Anthony, I feel like you came here because you had a problem. No?
Well, no, most definitely.
Right.
But also at the same time, being strategic about what I'm going to do next according to
Yeah.
my plan that I have.
Sure, sure,
Now I've got the information that I want, and I think you guys can truly help me out.
sure.
Now that I know that, let me now move forward with that. But in
Yeah,
the
no, not
immediate
a problem. Not a
thing,
problem. I just meant, so by the way, why am I saying not a problem? Because I do not want to jump on the mask yet. I still want to reframe this information thing. And all I'm doing is setting it up very gently. I'm trying to reframe it from you're here for information to you came here to solve a problem. Because if we don't agree that we're here to solve a problem, then I cannot have leverage to have him buy. If we agree that he came here for information, then our problem has been solved and he got what he needed. But I can't operate under the agreement that we're here for information. That's another one of those reframes we have to handle, right? Like they say it's really expensive. Well, relative to what you want, it's not expensive. To make 5K a month for the rest of 10K a month for the next year is not, this is not expensive. So I have to have that conversation. So I would have cut him off there, which I just did. Well, to be clear, Anthony, I absolutely respect your decision making. What I was saying though is you didn't come here like just to kind of read like a sheet of information about like our prices and stuff. I feel like you booked the call because you actually had a problem that you wanted solved, and like we're looking for a solution. Not saying, by the way, that means you have to start here. That's not an issue. But I'm just saying like you came here because there was a problem. You want to fix that problem and end up making more money. Would that not be correct?
yeah. And part of the problem was I didn't know how much the investment was going to be.
Sure, sure. That's part of the information as well, right? And then the question, what gets interesting now is what do you do with that information? So now that you have it, I'm just curious, what's kind of coming up for you over the next week where you want to take that time? Again, holidays are happening, but
Mm-hmm.
commitment could hypothetically be made here. So what's coming up for you in terms of this decision-making process that makes you want to just take that time? I'm just asking to see if I actually can help at all. Michael, you're
Yeah,
back on, and if you don't get it, we'll pass it to someone else. Good job so far, though. Go ahead, Anthony.
no, I agree. That's the whole point of this exercise is to find out if you guys can help me out, and I really do think you can. Now
Okay.
I know how much the investment is going to be,
Right.
and you know, I've got my fresh start here, and I don't say fresh start like you know like weight loss, and I'm gonna jump on a diet, not that kind of fresh start, but
Right.
the turn of the year, the fiscal year is going to be here in a minute. So
100%.
as far as like starting gate, this is my last week of the year that I'm just gonna do family on my
Yeah.
downtime. That's why I wanted that email so that I can just go over this is the plan. I believe these are the guys I'm going to go with. Okay. And then once I put this other interruption behind me, I can focus fully on this.
Yeah. No, 100%. Um, I mean, again, it's no problem at all. Take the holidays off. I don't want you to be thinking about all this during the holidays. Anyways, it seems like you have a lot on your plate, Anthony. I mean, you have your son's birthday, you have your brother's birthday, but and you have Christmas, of course. But what I'm saying is that the commitment to actually start making changes can be made here today. And again, we can pause you, we can add that time to the end of the program. It's no problem at all. But even if you decide to commit to making changes and we onboard you here today, you can go into the holiday season, not having to think about this at all because you've already made the commitment. And then come January when Q1 starts, you can start with a bang. Does that make sense?
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, so we're off track now. We're off track because we need to figure out what the real objection is.
Yeah.
Everything you said was good, but he already knows this. He knows what we're saying. I don't think Anthony's confused as to the idea we're saying about like pausing it. We said it already.
Just
All I need to know is what his objection is. I'm doing anything I can to find the objection because I do not know what his objection is.
okay.
But we'll pass it. We'll pass it. But the next place I would have gone would have been with Anthony. I would have. What did he say? He doubled after I responded. After I said that, he doubled down, and I would have done most of what you said. I was cool with most of it. Yeah. Not an issue. Again, take the time for the holidays, man. That's not at all what I would want you to like be working on ecom stuff all through the holidays. But I'm just curious in terms of that decision-making process where you said you wanted to email and just sit with things, what is coming up for you there in terms of the decisions of if this is a yes versus no, just to see if I can help at all? Like, what's that process like? That's it. All I need is the objection.
Yeah.
I need to just know what's causing you to not say yes now because it's not the holidays. It's something else.
Yeah, I was gonna go into that after he really like agreed to the frame.
But he wouldn't agree to it because what you were doing is you were saying, don't you agree that you can start now? Essentially, is what you were saying. I just want you to, that commitment can be made here. But he's like, no, I can't make the commitment here. So I'm like, why can't you? What is coming up for you that makes you not be able to do that?
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Does it make sense? This was
Yeah,
a
it does.
complex one. This is a complex one. And I wanted Anthony to dig in. He prospected very well. And this is the kind of stuff you'll get realistically on your calls. This is how it will sound.
No, I like it. I feel like my brain's like the gears are freaking turning right now.
Good. Cool. Does it make sense, guys? Do you understand? I know it was a tough one, but do you guys generally understand what we're doing? Okay. Cool. Let's rip some more. Husham, does anyone have questions on what we just did? Charlie, I saw you making notes. Did you write anything down on that, or was it just other stuff you were doing?
Yeah, I was literally every time I wrote notes, you literally paused it and spoke and said pretty much what I was going to say.
Okay. There's like an iPad next to me, and everything Charlie's writing appears on the iPad. So Charlie is actually coaching
Yeah,
this entire session through me. Okay.
you're
Let's
welcome. You are welcome.
let's go. Husham, you're up. You're
I
gonna
got a
rip.
quick question.
Yes, sir.
So how do you like know? So in the very beginning where he was saying, "Hey, it's the holiday season,"
Mhm.
how do you determine between okay, using the protocol around like vacations, holidays versus like life is busy? Like, my brain went to like, could you have like checked in and say like asked if he had like 5 or 10 hours, to commit over the next week to be able to right to do the work and
Because
then kind
this
of
is a
go down
really
that
good
protocol.
question. It's a great question. Because during the holidays, it's a kind of universally accepted downtime for everyone.
Okay.
So we don't really have the leverage of like life is busy, but do you have 5 to 10 hours during the holidays? You kind
Gotcha.
of
No.
just have to, you kind of just have to, you kind of just have to concede, yeah, you're not going to be doing this during the holidays.
Right.
That's it. You don't
Okay.
have leverage. You don't.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That's helpful.
And I don't know anyone who would like pull that off. Like bro, you should be working during the holidays. I can make an argument once you're in this program, then I'll start talking to you like that. But for
Yeah.
prospects who are not in the program invested, then
Yeah, I gotcha.
all right.
Hmm.
Let's roll. Husham, you're going to go. You'll go with Charlie.
Tim, real quick.
That's crazy. Giving me Charlie, that's mad.
Charlie's not that difficult to handle objections on. Charlie's a nice
Charlie,
person.
Yeah,
please.
Go
I'm gonna
ahead.
give you the
Someone
worst.
asked. Someone
Yeah,
asked me a
Tim,
question.
real quick, I have a question. What are the like what's the main thing that I should be working on in terms of my objection handling right
Just
now?
keep doing what you're doing. I didn't notice anything crazy out of the ordinary. I don't have any specific like, that was messed up. You just need to keep knowing where to go more
Okay, yeah.
continuously. Um, no one's speaking at it. You could just talk.
I'm just surprised that nobody asked, well, what the hell was the objection?
Oh, but it doesn't matter because
Well,
Michael never discovered it, so it wasn't earned, right? So to me, one of the best parts of objection handling is when you find out what's really going on underneath. So I mean, you and I will know what I wrote you, but no one else
yeah.
knows, and Michael
No,
deprived him of that joy. So Yeah.
Yeah, and then nobody else in the gallery said, "Well, what was it?" I was like, "Well, okay, fine. I'm not going to tell you then."
Yeah.
Anthony, we got to run the same prospect on a role play, and then we'll uncover what's the truth.
Okay, deal.
All right, let's do this. Did
I
you get
like
my
it.
message, Charlie?
Yeah.
Cool.
What are we selling?
Go.
Choose your favorite.
You pick. Let's go weight loss.
Ecom.
Okay. We can do ecom.
Weight loss. Okay, ecom. Easy. Your
It's gonna be
holy
very
grail
it's gonna
is
be very similar with objections anyways. I mean, yeah, whatever. Go ahead. Let's go.
holy grail would be just basically freedom, financial freedom. Would you go
Mhm.
roll with that?
Yeah, for sure.
Charlie, man. Yeah, Charlie, well, this is everything in terms of just really the roadmap and how we're gonna get you to, the financial freedom as quickly as possible. The next
Mhm.
steps really from here is just setting you up with your accounts, really onboarding you, showing you how to get the resources, and
Mhm.
just kicking it off, man. Trying to get you there as soon as possible. How do you feel? Oh, also the
Yeah,
investment is 5,000. Sorry. Yeah.
yeah. I was just gonna ask you how much it was. 5,000. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I like how everything's set up. It looks really, really cool. Seems like you've really got a good thing going on here for sure.
Amazing, man. Well, then the next steps would be just processing payments and
Mhm.
onboarding you with my success manager, John, and he'll really just walk through everything with you. How do you feel?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel good. Do we do that today, or is there like a chance I can just think about it for a little bit?
I mean, no problem. You can think about it. But is there what is actually coming up for you? Well, what do you mean think about it?
Um, just kind of obviously everything that we went over today. Just wanted to obviously I took some notes as you was going through like your presentation. So just wanted to go over and make sure it's all a good fit for me. And then we can kind of come back together.
Yeah, okay, that's no problem. Is there anything specific that we didn't mention here that you really want the information on? Or what's actually going on here?
No, I think you explained it really, really well. Like you gave me a really good presentation and you broke it all down
Cool.
super simple. It was great. But I just think for me right now, like the position I'm in is a big amount of money to just give over. So I just need to kind of go away, look at my finances for a little bit, make sure it all fits, and then we can potentially look at going forward.
Okay, yeah, that's no problem. In terms of finances, does it work out for you at the moment, or where you're at exactly in finances?
What do you mean?
So does the investment actually work for you? Like, can you invest the whole amount at the moment, or do you
Mm.
feel like you need to just break it down a little bit and make it a little bit more digestible for you?
Let's pause. Husham,
Ah,
can you re-deliver that again and deliver it perfectly on script? Because you're saying things that are generally okay, but they're not the scripting, which is causing Charlie's answer to be worse. Do you know the
Okay,
proper
cool.
scripting?
I'll give it a go. You let me know. Yeah, Charlie, well, is it a case of you have the full investment at the moment, but is it just a bit scary or just impossible for you to invest it? Or is it more of you have some of it, but just want to move some things around and make it a little bit more digestible for you?
Good.
I mean, do you have payment plans? Like, do you do something like that?
I mean, we can 100% look at something like that, but would that help you move forward today, or where you at with that exactly?
Use the first test instead. There's two tests. Use the first one, not this one.
Which one is
We
that
we
on?
definitely we definitely can look at it. If we were to, let's say, just drop an extra 5K in your lap and you just had it, would that help you to move forward today? If you had the money, would you move forward today or go do like something, go hang out with Andres in San Francisco or something? No, I'm actually asking, Charlie, what would you do?
We all froze. I was just
We're
looking.
we're
I was
role
looking
we're
at
role playing.
I was looking at Andres.
He's next to the
Um,
Golden Gate Bridge, so I don't know if you can go hang out there.
no, for sure, man. I'd sign up.
Back to Husham.
Yeah, amazing. Okay, well, in this case, we can definitely look at more payment plans. So realistically, how
Nope.
much would
Second
you?
test. You already did it actually, and I just stopped you and said do the first test. There's two. If you had the whole amount, would you move forward? And the second one is if we broke it into a payment structure, would you move forward today is the keyword.
Yeah. Okay, Charlie. Well, if we broke it down into a payment plan right now for you, would that
Mm.
help you to move forward today and get onboarded?
I mean, maybe not today. Like I'd like a little bit more time to think over everything. Um, But when we do move forward, I think the payment plan is going to be the best option for me.
Okay, that's no problem. You mentioned what you did think about it. Well, what is actually coming up for you at the moment beside of just the finances?
Just to see if I
To
can
be
help.
straight,
Just to see if I can help.
to be straight, man, like I've not necessarily done anything like this before. Like I've wanted to make money online for a while, but I've never kind of invested a big amount of money into myself. So it's just want to take some time to think over that and if it's like going to be a good fit for me going forward.
Yeah, okay, that's no problem. Mentioned this is, I mean, there's a first time to everything, right, Charlie? But ultimately, like all the decisions that you made in the past have led you to this position. So what is actually just stopping you at the moment from just moving forward with just committing and just going with yourself?
He's giving it to you though. He said
Yeah.
it. He said it. He said what's the objection? He gave it very clear now, right?
He's never done something like that before.
Correct. So we don't need to know what's stopping him because what's stopping him is that he's never done something like this before.
Okay, so
That's a
buy-in,
factor.
double buy-in. Okay.
You already did buy in and double buy in, didn't you? You didn't do buy in
No,
double
no,
buy
no, I
in? Oh
didn't.
wow, I missed that
Not yet.
completely.
Shame on you. It's because I
I
didn't write a
missed
note on it.
I hate you, Charlie.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't even know you didn't do buy and double buy in. Good. That's good sales IQ then, Husham. You should do double buy in and double buy in now. Now is when I would do it. So yeah, you get where to go. Run a little more and then we'll pass it. Good job, Olivier. Listening. Did you say Olivier? I mean, Olivier, did you say double buy in, or you said fear or something?
Yeah, I said that his problem was that he's never done something like
Oh,
that
you
before.
got the problem. You got the problem correct. Yes. And Husham, you got the solution correct. Good. Yes, go buy in and double buy in. Let's hear it.
Yeah, okay, Charlie. Yeah, I hear, bro. No problem. I'm just curious, bro, in terms of just looking at the program, just the process overall and the roadmap of how we're gonna actually get you to your goal of just freedom and just showing up for yourself and your family. Um, does that all resonate with you? Exactly. Do you feel like if given all the information, do you feel like you can succeed in this?
for sure. Yeah, like I like the way you have things set up here. I feel super confident.
Amazing, brother. I'm glad we're aligned. What exactly resonated with you in terms of just looking at the whole program? What is the thing that stood out to you the most?
Um, I like how it's going to be like in a sense like a step-by-step process of like how it should be done. Like basically like because I've not done it before. I don't know what to do. So I think walking me through it is going to be super easy for me or make it as easy as it can be. I know it's still going to be hard work.
Amazing, brother. Amazing. So in terms of just thinking about it, what is actually like coming up for you in that regards?
Um, like I said, it's just like a scary thing to do, right? Like I've never put this amount of money into something like this before. So when I go away and think about it, I just want to make sure it's going to be all a good fit for me. Just a scary thing to do, right?
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, is it okay if I can just share a perspective with you? Maybe that can help you.
Be my guest.
Yeah, do you remember the first time that you drove a car?
Yeah,
Yeah, how did you feel when you like just hopped in a car and you're about to drive it? What was the feeling there?
scared as hell, sweaty palms and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, ultimately you were scared, a little bit sweaty, you didn't know what's maybe you crashed the car, who knows? But nonetheless, like at that time, you still drove the car. You know what I mean? You still drove it, you still went and did it, even though you didn't know what's gonna happen after that. This is exactly the same situation that's happening here. It is a bit scary, 100%, but it's ultimately just you showing up for yourself
Mm.
and for your future. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I hear you for sure.
Yeah, so what else is actually just coming up for you? Just why is it actually scary for you? Well, what's going on there?
Let's pause here. Good job, Husham. Great job pushing it this far. No, it is a good job. It's your first time running objections in front of everyone. Good stuff. Good.
Ever. I didn't even role play this yet.
Oh, you've never role played objections yet?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness, Sean. Okay. Well, for the first time actually ever role playing objections, that was good. Who wants to tie it off and clean it up at the very end? Just pick up from the end. Jordan, clean it up.
Let's do it.
Let's pick up from let's just deliver the analogy and tie up the rest of it. So can I share a perspective with you?
Yeah. So can I share a perspective with you real quick, Charlie? I think it would be
Go ahead.
interesting here. Sure. So, and this may sound silly. Do you drive a lot? Do you drive your car on a
I
day-to-day
mean, not a lot,
basis?
but I can drive a car. I drive it a lot.
Okay. And the first time you ever drove in your life, were you nervous? What was that experience like?
Terrible.
Yeah, I'm sure. I remember personally, man, when I did it, it was scary. Going on a highway for the first time, almost, not stopping behind somebody. It can be a nerve-wracking experience when you do that for the first time, but you did it. And now you have the skill and it's embedded into you and you know exactly how to drive wherever you want now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like it's the same idea here. You're in the same kind of crossroads where you're facing doing this thing for the first time, starting this e-commerce business. And there'll be things you have to do for the first time. And ultimately, there's two different crossroads. You can either take that and move this forward for yourself for the first time, or you could allow that nervousness and those nerves to stop you from taking that action that ultimately had the benefit in your life. So I guess which one makes more sense, man?
Yeah, of course, making that change and doing something that I want to do.
100%. And are you ready to make that change? Like, are you ready to, I guess, even more importantly, man, do you feel like you deserve to make that change for yourself?
Good correction. Good.
Yeah, I mean, I deserve to have something that I want, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. And like what you want is those 10, 15K months in your business where you're able to have location freedom and time freedom to travel all throughout Europe and wherever you want to go, man. It's very important. And I want to ask you as well, and I don't ask this question lightly either, Charlie. Why do you feel like you deserve to have that business that's making the 10, 15K months? Like, why do you really deserve that?
I mean, I've been working at this for like 6 months now. Do you know what I mean? I've been trying to do loads of things to try and make more money. So I just think it's a kind of about time. And I mean, anyone who works hard deserves it for sure. But I think I've been working hard enough and I should start earning that income.
Yeah, I agree. Well, is there anything else then, Charlie? Because ultimately the next step from here to put yourself in the best position to succeed and put yourself in the best position to take the culmination of those 6 months of work and move it into the next phase of you actually making the changes to get to 10 to 15K. I don't think it's going and thinking about things. I think it's making a commitment to those changes. So
add in finances, because don't forget the finances is a factor for him. So we need to add that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I know the finances were maybe a little bit difficult earlier in our conversation. So with making that commitment, man, are you good to have a conversation around that so we can find a way to get the ball rolling and get these changes being made today?
Yeah. I mean, we can look at that for
100%. 100%.
Good. Very good stuff. Cool. He would come in on a payment structure. Good job, Jordan. Good job, Husham and Jordan, doing it together. Good stuff. Any questions so far? We'll keep ripping. Anyone have questions? I was kidding about Charlie's driving skills. I've never seen him drive. Okay. Anthony?
Yeah, I do. Looking at the never done this before analogy, there's two options, right? The first kiss, driving a car, or people you look up to. Can you go the route of, Charlie, just out of curiosity, who's a role model of yours? And let him tell me who, and then use that person. How do you feel about that?
I did that before on a role play. It worked pretty well.
Okay, cool.
I like it.
You can roll with that. It's going to be a little bit weaker than using an experience that's personal to them. It works still. as long as you convey the idea of doing something for the first time and how doing something for the first time isn't a reason to put it off. Because you still have to do it for the first time. So as long as the analogy hits, it hits. Yeah, you could use
Yeah,
that too.
no, it's just as opposed to, like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs, giving examples. Just have him tell me who he respects
Correct.
and then continue the rest of the
Yep.
script.
Yep.
Oh,
You can
okay.
do that. Absolutely.
Okay.
Cool.
I have a question, Tim.
Yeah.
So when Husham was going into the finances,
Mhm.
he asked the first question in the protocol. He said, "Do you have the full investment? You have some of it." And Charlie went straight to, "Well, do you have payment plans?"
Mhm.
And then we moved on from there. Is that a case where you have to get like an actual answer from Charlie, or can we move on from that?
If he says, "Do you have payment plans?" I'm just gonna move forward towards payment plan conversation. That's me.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the better answer, like to stay on script or protocol, would be like stick with your question and get an answer. That's the right answer. If I give you the wrong answer, but I think largely wink, wink, it doesn't really matter. You'll end up in the same place most of the time. But yes, you should stay on protocol. Yes, and be like, I asked this question. What's the answer? Good job noticing that. All right.
One small thing, Tim. I
Mm,
know you mentioned this, I think, yesterday, with tilting my camera down slightly. I did that. How does it look now?
you're good. I actually didn't even
Perfect.
remember that there was a camera problem because it looks fine now. It's good.
Awesome. Good. I just wanted to check
Yeah,
that real quick.
cool. All right. Let's go Ty. Ty, you'll roll with debating if you go with me or if you go with Michael. Wondering if I want to take more of an observational approach to my coaching today with you, or if I want to push you and get you better that way. You pick. Which one do you want?
So I'm down for the push.
All right. You'll go with me. Let's go.
Is it possible if I can go to I mean, I haven't like been like fully into the
Mhm.
objections, but I have like gone through a decent amount, and obviously I have been to a couple
So what
objection
you're
sessions.
saying, Xavier, is that you saw Husham do it first, and he broke the ice first, and it
Well,
inspired you.
well, actually, yeah, a little bit.
Because what I said was, I said, who
To
here
be honest.
wants to do it for the first time? And you did not aggressively volunteer, and I had to pick Husham.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, you can go. Of course.
All right, cool.
Anytime you guys ask to go, you can always go. If we have time, of course. But yeah, we'll have time. You can go. James, I want you to give me really clean discovery on Monday, and then you're going to start ripping objections too. Where like everyone's there. It's just, Andres, I want you doing more discovery. Still, I need that to be more clean before you get on objections. Okay, cool. All right, let's go, Ty. You'll go with me.
All right, let's do
I
it.
need a second to think of what the objection is. What do you want to sell?
We can do ecom. You're
Okay.
working full time. You haven't jumped into it yet. You've been researching for, I don't know, a year or two, and you want to replace your income, make 8 to 10 grand per month.
Okay. Cool. Charlie's
Very
actually
good.
messaging me objections to give right now. Okay, I'll do that. Sounds good. But I'm gonna give like the Tim version of that. Let's go.
All right.
This is Charlie's session today, basically. Let's go.
Awesome. All right, Tim. So that's everything in the program, man. Super excited to get going and helping you, grow and start your ecom business. The cost, the investment is going to be $8,000. And really the next steps is we're going to get you on a call with your coach about your strategy and just get you on your way to creating that financial freedom and of course, leaving your job and starting an ecom store. So how do you
Sick.
feel?
I feel good about this. Yeah, it's actually better than I thought it would be coming in, so I like it. Um, can you just give me like a day or two? I don't need like lots of time because I really don't want to put this off.
Yeah.
But maybe a day or two just to sit with things and kind of process it and then make a decision from there.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely can take that time. Can I ask real quick, when you think about everything we went through, it sounds like you're feeling pretty good about things, but I just want to check in with you specifically. Like when you think about the process, X, Y, and Z, do you feel like it can actually put you in a position where you can leave your 9 to 5, replace your income, and create that financial freedom for yourself? Because,
Yeah.
that's really the most important thing, man.
Yeah, I think so. I don't. The true answer is I don't know. But I guess you don't know anything until you do it. So it seems good. I can't give a certain yes on that. That's probably what I want to think about and just feel out.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, yeah,
but yeah,
I totally get that.
uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, you really can't know what the future holds, right? And
Sure.
I totally get that, and love to have you in even a conversation about that with you. What I want to know specifically when you think about the program itself and the
Mhm.
process. I mean, when you think about putting yourself and applying that, I mean, do you think that process can work for you specifically?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it can. I mean, if it's as straightforward as you say it is and it's as simple as you say it is, then I think yes, for sure. But I'll have to be inside. But yes, I like it. That's for sure. I think for me the next thing I'll do over the next like day is just talk to my girl, just have a conversation with her about it. Just run things by her to see kind of her thoughts, and then
Yeah.
come back to you with a decision, which it's probably going to be a yes because I've wanted to do this for a while now. But yeah, that's kind of
Yeah.
what's next for me.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, no problem. Can definitely chat with her and that's all good for sure. Can you just unpack that a little bit more? Like, why do you think this can work for you specifically? It sounds like you're really feeling good about this, but what's really a
Mm.
standout for you?
Um, just the structures you guys have. I mean, how you guys explain the scaling process, and having a coach is huge. It's something I haven't had before, I think, so I mean, I actually have had coaches for fitness, but never in this space. So I'm someone who believes in coaching and mentorship. If that's something that I can have in my life in this
Yeah.
journey, and I'm not doing it alone, which I think doing the same thing over and over, trying to reinvent the wheel and figure stuff out on your head with YouTube videos is not helping. So
Yeah.
for that reason, I'm more than willing to invest in myself. I know it's going to take that, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, number one, you see the value, right? And you've had
I
success
do.
with coaching before. Like that's
Yep.
big, right? And you're
Yeah,
going
yeah,
to
yeah,
apply the same principle here.
for sure.
So, I hear you, right? You want to take a day. It sounds like you want to talk with your partner. So,
Hmm.
just what's coming up there? Like, just help me understand. Like, what do you kind of envision you talk about with your partner, just to see if I can help.
Just me running into this, like in doing this, because it's a lot of money. And before making like such a, I think, a heavy decision, it's good to have like someone you trust who's kind of on your side, just looking at things with you too.
Yeah,
Um, and then go from there. That's why. Just that extra
yeah,
conversation, that support. She's a very supportive person, so it'd be
yeah.
great to have her.
Yeah, that's amazing. So would it be fair to say it sounds like it, like she's fully on board with you creating that financial freedom, leaving your job, starting your business, like
Yeah.
she's fully
She
on
she
board with
is.
that.
She is. She
Yeah,
is. We've talked about it a lot, man. We've talked about it a lot. She's very, very supportive, actually. A
yeah.
big reason I like want to go on this whole journey is because of her. Like we talked about it. Like she's a big kind of motivator for me. I want to give her a better life as well.
Wow.
More
Yeah,
freedom.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's amazing, man. I definitely respect that. And
for
I
sure.
mean, why does she want that for you? Like for you personally, I can totally hear the just the level of trust you have between you and your partner, but like why does she
Uh-huh.
specifically want this for you?
Um, it's a good question. I guess she sees in me how badly I want it, how much I want to work, and how much I want to be like that man who can give back to her and who can not even give back, but who can like provide a better life for her. I'm traditional. I was raised traditional, so I think that she
Yeah,
respects a lot of that and the kind of family we want to eventually create, like when we get married and all that. Is
yeah,
gonna like I'll be able to be that man more if I have this freedom, and
yeah.
that's I think a big driver for her.
Yeah, that's big. That's awesome. Yeah, it sounds like you guys are totally aligned just on your vision, what you want for your life.
Mhm.
That's uh that's
There's
huge.
a lot of alignment. Yeah, huge. It's
Yeah,
it's it's important.
cool, man. That's awesome. Well, Tim, can I ask just, in the past,
Yeah,
what might have gotten in the way of what's your partner's name?
Sarah.
Sarah. Okay. Sarah. So, in the past, what might have gotten in the way of just you and Sarah from making a change with something similar to this? Just to, see if I can help.
I wouldn't say anything. I mean, really, it's our first time. I mean, I'm the one who's going to be doing it, but it's the first time I'm kind of making an investment this big in anything
Mm,
outside of a car, outside of the home we bought. So like, and it is weird because it's on the internet, right? Like internet money.
right.
Um, So I think it's just the first time doing it. And that's honestly, that's part of the nerves too, right? Like doing something for the first time, I think, which is why I want to give it more thought
Yeah.
because, having that, I'm investing 8K in it, which again is, it's nothing to sneeze at, but it's not the craziest amount of money necessarily,
Yeah.
but it's 8K,
It
right?
is
So it's
8K.
just like, it is
Right.
8K. So I'm just kind of like, fuck, let me take that extra day because I haven't done it, and if you haven't
Yeah.
done it, it's like, it causes me to think,
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Well, I appreciate you like just keeping it straightforward with me, man.
Yep.
And with all due respect to Sarah, would it be fair to say that it's not necessarily an issue of you needing to go and speak to her about this, but more about more a bit of uncertainty, and it sounds like maybe it's the finances as well, but finances aside, we can work that out. Like it sounds like it's more a bit of just maybe the uncertainty, given that it is the first time. Would that be fair to say?
Do you guys know what Ty did really right just now? And he could have done it really wrong, but he did it perfectly. Xavier, did
He
you notice
didn't
it? Oh, go ahead, Jordan.
he didn't go right into responsibility. He
Yes,
first asked, "Hey, is it really a case where it's just the uncertainty? You don't
correct.
necessarily have to talk to your partner."
Hmm.
Because what you could have done is went straight into responsibility, where you haven't actively
Avoided
advocated
responsibility yet.
responsibility yet.
Yes, which wink,
So
wink, I am. Um, but there was another thing I thought of too. I tried to throw Xavier off, throw Ty off like crazy, but he didn't bite on it. Does anyone know what it was? Go ahead, Charlie.
was it?
Finances.
No, it wasn't
Go on.
finances. Because I didn't make it seem like I had a problem with the finances.
You were
I
like,
thought
it's a lot
that
of money.
I did say it's a lot of money, but I
Okay.
also didn't say I
Yeah.
couldn't do it. I said, but it's not the
Right.
craziest amount of money, which made it
Yeah.
seem like I could find a way. No, what I thought that Ty was going to do was start trying to handle my fear of the past. Oh, excuse me, fear of doing something for the first time. But he didn't.
Right. That's
He
where I thought
stuck
he
to
was
his
going.
guns and just moved. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's why I went like this. Jordan, your thought was good too, but I thought Ty was going to jump all over this objection.
That's
Because
yeah.
spoiler alert, this is the
That
real objection, right?
Right.
Yeah,
yeah.
just giving it way
Because
early.
yeah, if he had went into fear, if he had tried to
Mhm.
handle your fear right away, then the partner is still on the table. We haven't completely removed the partner from the table yet.
Correct. So he
So
can handle
that could
all of
come
that.
back.
And then I'll just be
Yeah.
like, you're right, bro. You have a point. Let me just talk to her with these new ideas. Let's continue.
Yep.
So I'll respond. I mean, Ty, yeah, it's a good point. I'm not gonna say that it's something I don't want to run by her. There's definitely a lot of uncertainty, man. Not
Mhm.
even a lot, dude. I don't think it's a lot. Like, I don't think you guys are scamming people, but it's just like, when you haven't done something like this, you kind of take a little more thought before doing it. It's the most money I've ever spent like online with anything. You know what I mean? And I've been on calls like this before, and this is the closest
Yeah.
I've gotten to like, hey, let's start. And I'm very close to just wanting to rip it, man, and just saying, hey, let's get in. But that's the reason why I'm gonna probably want to talk to her before jumping in with you guys.
Yeah.
And again, it's no personal affront to you, man. You've been great,
Yeah.
and
Appreciate
and
that.
I'm very serious about moving forward as well. So it's not like giving you some BS, but I just probably want to have that conversation with her, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I totally get, right, you're serious. I can tell, right? You've invested in
Yeah.
coaches in the past, and I definitely get that. And I definitely want to have the conversation with you about like the uncertainty, because there's an opportunity, I think, for us to really unpack and explore.
Maybe, sure.
First, yeah, and if you're open to it, right? And I'm curious, Sarah, what does Sarah do for work?
She's a nurse, actually.
She's a nurse.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah, that's great. Complete
Well,
respect to,
nurses are the worst, by the way, but she's a
are they
nurse.
really?
Yeah,
I wouldn't
that's the
know.
worst part about her. But anyway, she's great.
That she's a nurse?
Yes. The
That's the
job
worst part.
is a nice job, like, but she's crazy, and her job
Is
makes her
she?
crazy. Yeah, yeah,
Well, she must be special for you to be with a crazy woman then.
yeah, yeah. She is.
So, complete respect to Sarah. I can imagine that when Sarah makes decisions at her job, right, as a
Yeah, yeah.
nurse, that that she makes, right, for her to be successful in her job, that she relies on you to make those decisions. Like, would that be fair to say?
Relies on me, meaning no. I mean, of course not. That's her work. No, definitely
Yeah, it's
not.
her job,
For sure.
right?
Yeah,
Like her
yeah.
day to day, she's working with patients, like she's handling her
Hmm.
business because that's her business to
Sure.
handle. Right? Those are her business.
Actually we talk about quite a lot of stuff from her job. Like there's a lot going on, and sometimes she'll just Like, what do you think I should do about this person? Like, there was I won't get into it, but there was some shit at her job, like some
Yeah.
stuff that was having legal stuff, and she had a
Mhm.
hand in it. So I had to help her out with some of that. But generally, yeah, I get what you mean. I mean, it's her stuff.
Right. Yeah, and it sounds like you're there to kind of lend an ear and support her,
Sure.
right? In certain times, right?
Absolutely, of course, as we should be. Yeah.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I'd imagine she is the final decision maker at her job when it comes
Sure.
to right, what she's got to do. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, again, with all due respect to Sarah, I guess why would it be, I guess, fair for you to take a decision to make a change, right? For you
Mm-hmm.
to leave your job, grow your business, create that financial freedom for yourself, and make 8 to 10K per month, so you can be
Mm-hmm.
happy and fulfilled with your life,
Mm-hmm.
and push that decision and responsibility onto her. And like and I'm not saying like she
I'm.
can't, lend an ear, right? And be there in your corner to back you and support you, but
Mm-hmm.
the reality is like she's not responsible for you having the right having that feeling of um being a provider, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you being able to leave your job, have that autonomy as a business owner, like she never has and she never will be, right? Like that
Mm-hmm.
that that responsibility is ultimately on your shoulders, is it not?
It is, and you make a good point. No, you're right. I don't know. I don't know if it's as simple as that, but yeah, I see the point that you're
Well,
making.
it's not as
Um,
simple as that. What do you mean? Because I mean, the other side of this to me looks like
mhm,
you do make the change, you make the decision, and
sure.
you do, right, put in the work, you grow your business, you leave the 9 to 5, you provide for her.
Uh-huh.
And like you're like Sarah admires and respects you more because you made the decision, right?
Yeah.
Like to make that change.
Hmm.
And I mean, for me, in my mind, I think that's your responsibility, is it not?
It is. It's 100%. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
And so, I mean, like that being the case, and the reality that that is your decision and your responsibility. I mean, what decision does the man make who has the financial freedom, who provides for his wife, right? His
mhm.
partner. Sorry, I'm not sure if you guys are married yet, right? But you
One
kind of
day.
talk like you guys like, yeah, are planning for the future. Like, what
Yeah.
decision does that man make who has, right, the life you're planning on creating? Like, what decision does he make here? So you have everything you want and more.
Well, that's the whole thing I want to. So I'm going to correct one thing here, tying the scripting. You wouldn't say what's the decision because the objection is still not handled. So the transition wouldn't be what's the decision because I won't make the decision now. It would be like,
Right.
so let's have a conversation. Do it again now with this. You get where I'm going?
Yeah.
Just rip it again. Not
Well,
everything, but just that tie up at the end.
yeah, the tie, I guess what would it be? It's not the decision. What
Michael, can you run it?
would it be?
You know it. You're at 3. You should know it.
Yeah. So, I mean, with that being the case, can we have a conversation putting,
Oh,
that
it is.
aside? Can we
Yes.
just have a conversation between the
You're
two of
good.
us? I
Yeah, yeah,
haven't.
yeah.
Okay.
That's what it'd be. So you're
Okay.
taking the angle of conversation, not the angle of decision, because decision implies start now. But he can't start now
Right.
because we don't know what the objection is.
Gotcha.
Does it make sense,
Okay.
Andres?
I
We
gotcha.
don't know what the objection is. Okay. Let's keep playing with it. Very good so far. Clean. I'm not gonna ding that mistake against you. It's small. It's easily corrected. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's hear what else you got.
Okay. We're going to pick it up where Michael
Let's
went.
just say Michael took it correct, and I'll play with it. No, I hear you, bro. And I'm willing to have that conversation. It's just like I think it's not again if you told me that it was like let's say 3K, like dude, the last guy that I talked to about doing a program like this, it was 3K. And that I actually made a deposit for it. Some stuff ended up happening in my personal life, so I didn't end up moving forward. And then I found out things about the company and I didn't think it was what I wanted to do. But like
Okay.
if you told me it was like 3K, dude, I think it would be something where it'd be kind of like a no-brainer, especially because of all the value you guys are offering.
Sure.
But like at 8K, just knowing my finances, that's something I need to really like sit with. You know what? That's the
Yeah,
reason
yeah,
why I
yeah.
want to take the time and just like
Okay.
just take a day and be like, hey, what does this look like? What is budget? Holidays are here. Like it's a lot. So that 8K, it's like 5K more than I just have wrapped my head around. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
for
it's no
sure.
disrespect to what you guys do. I know you guys are worth it, I'm sure, but I'm not in
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
kind of my
Yeah,
thought
I get that.
process.
Yeah, AK, I mean, AK is a lot, especially if you were coming in thinking it's going to be 3 grand, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
sure.
I mean, Tim, let me ask, is it a case where you've got the 8K and it's just a bit scary to invest it all?
Hmm.
Or is it you've got some of it and we just need to figure out some things to make sure it just works with your budget?
Well, I have the 8K. I mean, I had set it aside for some other things, but to me, I'm not against investing all, if not most of it here, to be honest. Like
Okay.
I'll be fine. If I invested 8K, bro, it's not gonna like kill me, right?
Okay. Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
I had budgeted for other stuff in my head, and it's a lot, especially because I don't know what's inside, and it's kind of, yeah, but I do have it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
So I totally
yeah.
hear you, right? It's a lot. You've mentioned this a couple of times about the uncertainty, and
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
definitely want to explore that
And
conversation a little bit.
I'm sorry to be all this way, man. I'm sure you get a lot of people here saying all kinds of crazy stuff, but I'm just
Hey, I mean,
fuck, I'm here now and I'm like, damn, it's time
yeah,
to swipe a card, you know?
yeah, and that's all good, man.
Yeah.
And I want you to feel good about that, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
sure.
I mean, is it, so again, it sounds like if we were to just drop the 8K in your lap right now, you'd be ready to rock and roll with us to start making those
I have
changes.
the 8K. Like I could invest in it now, bro. Like
Yeah.
again, I'm not going to be on the streets if I spend on it. It's just I'm
Okay.
just thinking again that like again, I haven't made a move like this yet. So
Sure.
it's causing me to feel that little, hey,
For
take a
sure.
second. That's it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
let's talk about that. Like what's coming up where you're like, hey, let me take a second. You mentioned
I don't
uncertainty, not
know.
doing it for the first time. I just want to see if
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
help.
I don't know. I don't know. It's like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's just I don't know. Maybe I don't think I'm crazy like for feeling it. I don't know.
Not at
I
all.
haven't invested in like training like this. So it's like making
Hmm.
money online. I've made some, I've done a little bit, 1K here, 2K there, but like I want to build this stuff and I know it's going to take an investment, but I think just me like believing, hey, I can do it. Hey, you got to get started. It's kind of like jumping into the pool probably from the deep end or like
Yeah.
at the deep end and like from the diving board and that's something that's scary to me. And I've always been scared
Yeah.
of diving from the diving board into pool, literally. So now
Yeah.
I feel that same feeling in my gut with the spending, and that's like with the investment, and that's just kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah, and I hear you. I
I don't
mean,
know.
and I love the analogy of like the diving pool, right? And have
Hmm.
you done that before? I mean, have you actually jumped
Yeah,
off the top of
I'm
that?
never doing it again. Yeah, that's for sure. I did it. I did it
Okay.
twice. I actually
Yeah.
was a competitive swimmer, but I was always limited because I never wanted to dive from like the top. There was different
Right.
divisions, and some of them would be higher, but I was always
Yeah.
like lower because I would never want to. So that's why I stopped swimming at like
Yeah.
13. I'm not.
That's funny.
I don't like heights.
Well, I appreciate you talking about that feeling, right?
Hmm.
It's a little bit scary doing it the first time, and I just would love to kind of offer a perspective that that scary feeling is
Uh-huh.
totally fine, right? Given that you're doing this the first time. I mean, it would be kind of
Hmm.
crazy if you weren't feeling that, right? That kind of feeling, and so it's not an issue, right? And at the same time, can I offer a bit of a perspective here?
Please, man, whatever you got. Like I'm
Yeah,
all ears, man. I came here to learn. I came here to like make a change. So I'm with you.
yeah,
Like,
for
please.
sure. Um, So, the people that are just, man, like the most successful people in business,
Hmm.
right? Like the Elon Musk, the Jeff Bezos, right? You're getting into ecom, right? Amazon,
Hmm.
the Steve Jobs, right? People who changed the world.
Hmm.
Um, there was a first time where there was a time where they all had to do something for their first time, where they had that
Sure.
feeling, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And so, I mean, if I just imagine if they had walked away and put off this vision for
Hmm.
their business, for their e-com store, whatever it may be, the world would be a very different place. Their
Hmm.
lives would be very different, right? The family that they've been able to, right? The kind of the lifestyle they've been able to create for their family, that wouldn't be there, right?
Hmm. Sure. No, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. And so, like what we're not going to do for you, Tim, or ask you to do, Tim, is to like reinvent the wheel or climb Mount
Hmm.
Everest here at all. Right?
Hmm.
Like, but what we're asking is really for just you to back yourself and give yourself the
Hmm.
future, that you truly, truly deserve. And so,
Sure.
and so I just want to, right, kind of check in with you. There's really only two kind of guarantees for you,
Yeah.
right? One is, right, your commitment to show up and kind of put in the work and give yourself the future you know you truly deserve, right? And so I just want to ask, do you have that commitment to yourself?
I do. I do have that. But it'd
You
be
do?
better if you scripted it, made it about his partner too. But continue. All good.
Okay.
Yeah, I have it. I have it. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
there. Sure. I mean,
Okay.
I wouldn't be having this conversation with you if I wasn't. So I'm
Right.
with you.
And what I'm curious about is like, do you have that commitment to yourself, even though, right, it's not something you've done for the first time?
Yeah. No, I do. I have that commitment. I do.
Yeah, for
It's just
sure.
backing it and like starting. That's the hard part. But yeah, I
That's
have
all
it.
it is, man. It
Yeah.
really is just backing it, right? And the other guarantee is really our commitment to get you where you need to be and
Hmm.
provide you every single ounce of support and attention, right? Holding your
Sure.
hand through the entire process, giving you the tools to support all of that. And so, I mean, it sounds like you have that belief in us, but I want to check in with you. Do you believe we'll make that level of commitment to you to take you where you need to be?
I do. I don't have any reason why not. Like I do feel that. Yeah, I've seen what you guys do. I know you guys are legit. Some of the best, and that's probably why the price is the way it is. I know you guys are
Yeah.
good. I've seen the results. I talked to people in the Facebook group and your program. I know you guys are good.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I mean, you've done your right. You've done your research. You've
Hmm.
got the commitment in yourself, and so I'm curious. I mean, do you really believe that you deserve to have right the financial freedom and ecom biz that's collecting 8 to 10K per month? I mean, do you believe you deserve that, not just for yourself now, but for your future self? Yes or no?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Hmm.
Yeah, I do.
And I mean, do you want to take responsibility for having that type of business and having that type of lifestyle, not just for yourself, but also for your right for your partner Sarah and your future family?
Yeah,
Yes or no?
I do. Sure.
Yeah. Amazing. So, I mean, Tim, what decision does that man make so he can create that future for himself and again for your partner? And frankly, it's not saying, I've never done this before.
Hmm. Yeah, no, it's starting. It's making change. Do you guys like if I wanted to pay like let's say like a smaller percentage and then start or like I don't know how that works, but if I broke it into something smaller and I don't need like some 6 month bullshit, but just because I could put it on credit, but I could, but I could put like a lower amount down and then
Yeah.
roll with you guys. Could that work? Or does it have to be
Yeah.
all 8K at once?
Yeah, that'd be easy, man. We can definitely do that. And so, I mean, if we were able to move the investment into a more manageable structure that worked with your finances, where you can put a little bit down and break it up, like, will that help you move forward today?
Yeah, sure. If we could talk about it and it's like something that works for me, then I'm willing to have that
Yeah.
conversation. I've seen
Awesome.
enough, Ty. I've seen enough. That was solid. You're at level 3. You cleaned
All
that
right, let's
shit.
go.
You cleaned that shit. That was good.
Thank you. Thank you.
W's in the chat for Ty. I don't know. I've been watching too much on Twitch, I guess. Anyways, really good stuff, bro. Any
Thank
questions on that? I gave all the feedback in the middle. There's one big piece that I want you to get better. Two big things I want you to get better at, but you're at level 3. That was clean. You finally aced all tests. Good stuff,
Cool.
man.
Thank you. Thank
Any
you.
questions on that, guys? Anything that you guys have
Oh,
feedback or thoughts on?
did you have two? You said two things. Did you already give it to me? You meant?
No, I'm gonna give you 2 things. I haven't
Oh,
forgotten.
okay. Gotcha.
Okay. The 2 things is one, when I'm in those valleys of decision, which I was giving you a lot of there because you were delivering the scripting authentically and very genuine. It felt good. That's the reason I bumped you because one of your biggest limiters was it sounded like a script. Now it does not sound like a script. Also, I don't know how you did that so quickly. But anyways, I'll ask you later. What was your process, Ty? Please give this process to everyone who ever comes in here. But you delivered the scripting really naturally, which was amazing. But I need you when I'm in those valleys of decision. There's still too much of a gap between what you're saying versus, or excuse me, my thoughts in which you say. So like in those moments where like after the partner stuff when you were like so like what's the kind of conversation that man has here? Frankly, it's not you didn't say this exactly. I'm giving a paraphrase. Frankly, it's not like offloading the responsibility. It's actually having a conversation, looking at a way to move forward. So I would be like, yeah, and you would take just too much of an extra second where I wouldn't hear anything from you. And in those moments,
Oh,
it's
I
very
gotta jump in
dangerous.
faster.
A little bit faster.
Okay.
It's now you're at 3, so now it's just like intuition, a lot of it. But it's you got to just time things right. Like something Michael has gotten really good at. Michael times his jumps very correctly, like very well. And I want you to do the same thing. Like when someone has that little bit of timing, that little hesitation, you got to jump in, but you can't do it too soon because if I was telling you something important, you can't cut me off because then you sabotage yourself. So I can't tell you what to do, but you just got to work on that timing. There was moments where I was kind of like, and you just didn't jump in. You jumped in a little too late. I let it go though. And then the other thing would be make sure you stay consistent with painting Holy Girl all the way throughout. You generally did a good job of it. It wasn't a deal breaker. But I would want be very specific and remember language. His partner was the most important thing to him, it sounds like, him being in that role as a provider and all that stuff. So bring that up. You did bring it up at the very end when you went into the emotional crossroads, which was good.
Okay.
I want to hear that all throughout. You almost can't overuse it unless you use the same words every time, like provider, then it starts sounding weird. Use slightly different words. Be that guy, be that man who shows up for himself and his future family. Are you ready to be that person who brings in abundance and brings in that life of freedom for himself and like your partner, Sarah, and being that man for her? I want to hear a little more of that to really paint a vision because there were moments where I just lost vision and it felt like you were almost like getting me to a point. But when you keep the vision strong and the holy grail strong, the prospect plays ball more. But other than that, stellar job, bro. Stellar job. Talk to me. We'll talk about looking at some offers and starting to put you in the interview game for something real good. Okay.
Cool.
You've earned it.
Sounds
But now
good.
the
Thank
work now the work actually starts. Now you have to make money.
All right.
Right.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. Very good stuff.
Thank you.
Any questions on that? All right. Let's go, Xavier. Let's roll. How about we rip something with let's go with James as a prospect. James, I'm gonna
Yes,
send
sir.
you a message. Okay, makes sense, James.
Cool. That's it, James. That's everything.
James, really quick. What do you mean by that question, James? The mask is the one I sent you at the top. The first mask, like the first thing would just be, hey, yeah,
Oh,
all good. Does that make sense?
so
The
like
mask would
combining the two?
well, no. So the mask would be the first thing you say, and
Okay.
then he has to handle that and earn it, and then there's a real fear underneath, which would be what I just said. The real objection, if he does handle it, would be.
Okay.
Does it make
Yeah.
sense?
So I come up with the second part.
Well, I mean, I wrote it to you. Did you see all three of my
Oh.
messages or no?
Okay, I see it. Yeah.
Does it make sense? So it's like I'll type it now.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's roll.
Cool. That's everything for you, James. That is everything that would help you and take you to a place where you have 10K a month. So the investment to be able to do that would be 4K. And in terms of next steps, what we would do is we would onboard you and we would get you rocking and rolling with the team. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds all right. Can you, Xavier, I mean, that was all good. Thank you for that. Can you send all that stuff that we talked in an email to me and I'll just kind of go over it again?
Yeah, and when you say all right, is it that can you see this working for you?
I mean, I definitely see the value in it. I just want to, yeah, again, review it and then just sort of thinking about it. And yeah, then go from there.
Okay, and what specifically can you see for what specifically in this can you see working for you and getting it to that 10K goal?
Yeah, I mean, the coaching definitely seems like the best part. I just don't know if it will definitely like I don't know until I'm actually in it, obviously, but yeah, I just haven't really seen success with coaching. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned the coaching is the best part. What aspect of the coaching do you think that'll be able to get you to that 10K goal, 10K mark?
Um, I'll say the accountability. Yeah, it's like holding my hand throughout the process until I actually get there.
Yeah. Okay, cool, cool. And I know you mentioned that you're a bit uncertain in terms of, what I would look like, when you do hop in. Can you just like tell me what's coming up for you just to see if I can help?
I mean, nothing really coming up like specifically, more just like I'm still, just want to review all my options and really sit down and think about it for, the next 2 days. It's not going to be long. I just need to sort of go over the details one more time and yeah, then I'll get back to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think with all due respect, James, I mean, if nothing was coming up, I think you'd be more than ready to move forward, right? So if you feel as though you had to sit and, ponder on it a bit before making a decision, I mean, there must be something that, is coming up in the back of your mind and that, providing a bit of hesitancy for you. So what exactly do you think that is?
Yeah, I mean, I just think, it's just not my first time investing in it or investing in a program or coaching. But yeah, I just worked, with previous coaches and, you know, it's not that they didn't give me any value, but it's just like they didn't fully deliver. And that's just kind of what's coming up, really.
Yeah. When you say they didn't fully deliver, what exactly do you mean?
Well, like up front, of course, they're gonna promise a lot, right? It's like, oh, we're definitely gonna hold your hand all the way, or we're gonna show you the exact roadmap and stuff. And while it seemed all great, but once I actually got in, it was just like it just sucked. They didn't walk me through the process, and they kind of just overpromised and didn't actually, do what they said they're gonna do.
Yeah, yeah. I got you. And I know you mentioned that, they did provide some value. So is it a case of, this just being a complete scam, or was it a case of, you being able to, properly apply yourself to get the results that you're looking for?
You're asking about my previous experience, or
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I wouldn't say it was a scam. I would say, well, I guess yeah, maybe like partially they scammed me, where they said they would do something and then they didn't deliver on it, or maybe they just sort of half-assed it. So I didn't feel like their full promise was like acted on, right? So it's not that like it was impossible to get results or to get what I was looking for, but yeah, it just didn't feel like they were fully committing to what they're saying.
Okay, cool, cool. And I know you mentioned that you said that it wasn't impossible to get results. Were there other persons in the group who were able to get really good results or get results that they desired?
Yeah, I'm sure there was. There was like a community, like Facebook group, all that, and there were some success stories. But I mean, I can't really speak for other people or what their experience was. So I think, yeah, it wasn't impossible for these people. There's definitely still some great success. Just for me, it didn't work out.
Yeah. So, I guess my question to you then is, if they were able to see that success, and you mentioned yourself that, it wasn't impossible to see that success that you were looking for, what do you feel was the disconnect there to get you that results that you were looking for, that 10K month?
I'm interrupting really quick. Great job, Xavier. You're not biting and not jumping the gun, sticking to your guns. Very good stuff. Good job. Let's keep going.
Sorry, can you repeat that question?
Well, now he's cooked.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I said, yeah, in terms of, you mentioned that, it wasn't impossible to get those results.
Yeah.
So what I was asking is, what do you feel was the disconnect that prevented you from,
disconnect.
yeah, getting those results, that 10K month that you were looking for?
Disconnect, I think just not like proper communication with the coaches. Yeah, and yeah, just that really.
Yeah. So is it a case of you felt as they probably could have, reached out to them a bit more, be a bit more assertive or a bit more proactive in, letting your issues be known or voicing your opinion? Or what does that look like?
All right, I'm going to stop here for 1 second. So, Xavier, you're doing good, but you're doing a little too much clarification now, and I'll explain why. Listen to this, guys, because it's a good lesson. So everything was great. Now it just kind of dipped. So he said he gave you an answer and said the coaches there wasn't enough communication. If that generally happens, I'll explain this way. Whenever there was a problem with the past and something previously that happened, it's either generally going to be on the prospect or it's generally going to be on the other company. James, I'm going to ask you a question. The prospect you're playing, what side are you leaning towards? I think it's clear. But let's see if I'm getting it correct. What side are you feeling internally? Whose fault was it more?
Mm, the past company.
Correct. That's what I felt. You did say like, yeah, maybe I could have done a little something something, but like generally there wasn't good communication. When I hear that, my default is not going to be, couldn't you have done more? If he would have said, let's say he would have said, I mean, I tried to communicate, but I wasn't really getting responses, or excuse me, sorry, they reached out, but I was going through some stuff in life. Well, there we go. Now it's on him, right? But
Yeah.
here, he's not fully avoiding responsibility at all, but he is saying like it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. And on
Yeah.
the side of guys, I'll tell you something here. This is a bit of a weird thing to say, but I think you guys will understand where I'm coming from. If one of you guys kind of goes ghost in the program, you know that I'm checking in. Like James, I literally told you I didn't see you the last 2 days. I texted you that just before the session, right? You were doing life stuff, which is fine, right? You guys know I'm going to do that, right? So in a program, when someone makes an investment, let's think about what we're doing with objections. We are really trying to help. We're not trying to like trick people. So if he was in a program, maybe he gave like his 80%. Let's say 100. I think all of y'all are probably ranging from like 80 to like 95% in terms of effort here. That's what I guess. No one get like 100% is insane. Is there anyone who's given 100% in the program so far? I wish Charlie was still here because he would know the answer to that, or Sati or Amana. I don't know if anyone gave 100% yet. Anyway, but like if he Ty isn't given 100%. Ty's missing like sessions and stuff. But Ty is an assassin with his skill set. That's what's happening. Anyways, Husham's giving more effort than all of us because of the doing this stuff at like 2 a.m. and so maybe he's giving 100%. Anyway, let me get back on track. So like if he was giving, let's say 80% even in his past program, and they weren't doing their part to check in and just drag him to where he needs to be because he freaking paid them for the accountability and support, I'm just going to take responsibility on us as a company and be like, hey, dude, we're going to do better than them at that point, right?
Yeah.
How we do that is important. You can't just straight up say like, hi, it was all their fault. We're better, right? But you're kind of going to do that in a way. So the reason I cut it is you can keep going. I want you to go a little more, but I don't like that you're doing so much clarification, trying to get to the nitty gritty of like who said what and like how much did you do versus them. We kind of get it. He tried a bit. It wasn't like the program wasn't probably good. It was probably
Yeah.
not worth the money. It was probably kind of shit. So we have enough info now.
To be honest, I actually thought it was the opposite. I thought it was more him, and that's why I was seeking that extra clarification. So I didn't even know he was playing. He was kind of blaming it on the prospect. It was more not the prospect, the company side.
Where were you guys at? What did you guys think? Andres, from what you were hearing, did it feel like James was going more, it was on them or more like it was on me? What were you picking up?
I think he was talking more about the company.
Okay. Show of hands between Olivier, Husham, Jordan, and Ty. Who thought it was company? So it seems like most of us are picking up company. Cool. And Xavier, it's fine because you were in it, so you could easily misread that, right? But okay, so I want to make sure I'm not going crazy because sometimes I'll say stuff to you guys and everyone's like, no, Tim, that didn't happen. I'm like, okay, sorry guys, I fucked up. But this time that was not the case. So here's what I tell you. He just for the future, like if you watch this back, listen to the language James was using. James actually played a very good prospect. Go ahead, Jordan. What were you saying? Say
Yeah,
that.
I was I was saying in the chat a second ago, like I in the beginning, like when he first started going through this objection, I thought it was self. I thought it was like he wasn't doing the right things. But as he talked more and clarified more, I realized, okay, it seems like it's more of the company.
Correct. Yes, that literally happened. So at the beginning,
Yeah.
it did sound more like self, but as you started saying more, it really sounded like these guys just weren't showing up for him. That's what it
Hmm.
sounded like. Okay, so let's go under that knowledge and let's go into moving forward and seeing where you go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's pick up
Uh,
from. I'll make a statement. James, you'll take over after me, but I'm going to make a statement. Xavier respond to it, and James, you'll continue, and Xavier responds. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just like the communication wasn't very good, and I did try, and I didn't go to every session, but I just there was a lot I felt that could have been done differently. So I don't know if all the value was there, to be honest.
yeah, yeah. I hear you. And James, I think it's really important that, when you are in a program that you are able to have that effective communication between both parties, right? I think that's the only way that you would see the results that you are looking for, that 10K goal that you are looking for.
Yeah, definitely. That's really important. Yeah, and they didn't do that, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. And that's where we come in, right? So I know you mentioned, earlier that you do feel that this can work for you, and you do get a sense of accountability from us, and we are able to help you. And with those resources that we do have, that is where we assist. So ultimately, now it's down to you to have that commitment to yourself to make that change, right? How do
Mhm.
you feel about that?
Yeah, I agree. I definitely have to show up for myself, and make as many calls and, you know, just ask for help when I need to ask for feedback. Um, yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Realistically, a prospect would give a but here. So what happens is when the prospect has had a problem with the previous company, you need to take the angle of it's more our responsibility to help you because you have to overcompensate for how he was burned in the past.
okay,
Does it
okay,
make
yeah.
sense? I'm either going to run it or I'm going to have Ty try it. What do you guys want? Ty, do you want to try it or do you want me to just do it?
Go for it. Yeah, I was a little
All right.
half
So I'll
tapped out.
I'll I'll tie it up with James. Um, I'll pick up from the statement about how they deliver all the value and what you said, Xavier, was good. I like that. Yeah, dude, it's up to the company to really the people you work with to give you that support and that feedback and it's essential that that happens. And if it doesn't, they're just not putting you in the best position to succeed. And I'm actually really sorry that you went through that. I'm really sorry that you invested. How much did you invest, by the way?
It was 5K.
Oh, really? So it was a bigger investment than this one. I see. So I'm sorry you invested in that and didn't see results, or see kind of what you were looking for. Well, I guess one thing that I would just ask you. So here's what you did that I didn't like, Xavier. You asked him a question on his own responsibility to do it more himself, which is not lined up with the fear he has. The fear is like, hey, I kind of did try and I didn't get results. So I wouldn't handle it by saying, are you willing to do it again? Instead, I'm going to go this side. I guess I just have a question for you, James. Based on what you saw from us here and just what I ran through with you, again, not saying you know what's inside the program because you haven't been in, but do you feel like the way things are set up, we're prepared to do our best to give you that accountability that you have been missing and to put the right systems in place so you can build the business to be at 10K per month, or how do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I see the value there. It's everything you showed me today was great. I just
Okay.
gotta, everything I told you about the previous coach and
Of
just
course.
want to compare, like,
Be being
yeah.
being in it is different. Being in it's way different. But in terms of I'm talking comparison, like from what you've seen here, does it feel like it's more hands-on? Does it feel like you're getting more attention than what you had previously? Do you just in terms of gut check, does it feel like, oh, this actually does make sense now and this can potentially work?
Yeah, I definitely think it'll work.
Okay, cool. And again, you can't know, and I understand
Hmm.
whatever happened and it sucks. But I guess so now I'm gonna deliver the analogy, but you see how I've watered the soil and just gently gotten him to say, yeah, I feel like you guys might be different. It's a very weird paradox. Stay with me, guys. A lot of objection handling is really weird because in a way he won't know, right? But he can still make a gut assessment. But then also he's been on this call before with the other company. So he probably knew then. So there's no real like, yes, he knows, but you're kind of just helping him to get there. Does it make sense? There's not a
Yeah,
real like, yes, I know.
so
Someone talk
I
to
was
me.
actually, yeah, I was actually thinking about asking that particular question, but I wasn't sure if it was redundant because Alien Nicole, he did say that, he does feel that, this can work for him. It is a
But
con
he gave his
right.
buy-in. He gave his buy-in without the pretext of now this new fear. So triple
Okay.
buy-in, which we do again. Ty did that
Okay.
really well actually when we did his. That's why I bumped into 3 again. He used that really well. Triple
Right.
buy-in is when there's new fears. Now what we're asking is within the context of this new objection, this new fear you have, do you still feel like we can help? Because that's important. So it changes, right? When someone's like, think about it, you're like, okay, I just want to know when you do buy-in and double buy-in, it's like, I just want to know if we can even talk about this under the same terms. But now once we get deeper and they're like, I was burned, or I have a fear of myself and doing this again, or I don't even know if I can trust what you guys are saying, then that third buy-in is like more powerful because it's like, I get you, bro, but I just want to know, do you like think for the most part we're going to do our part? And if they say yes, you're like, okay, we can work with that now. You get what I mean? Because the fear progresses. It's a different kind of fear. Make sense,
Yeah.
Andres? Olivier, does it make sense? Good. Okay, cool. Let's tie this one up. We'll mess with it a little more and then I'll let you guys go. Okay, good. So I'm happy you feel that. What I'd say, James, and if I can share with you kind of a perspective here, if you're open to hearing it, something that could shed a little bit of light on
Sure.
this, is I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you've had like a relationship or something, whether it's with a friend or romantic that just didn't work out. Have you ever had a situation like that, had a girl that you were seeing or and it just didn't work out for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think we've all been there, right? When the breakup happened or when it ended, did you kind of just shut down permanently, or did you say, "Hey, I'm going to get back out there in the dating market, kind of just go after it again, put myself out there, work on myself, and get back on the horn," or did you just kind of give up, or what happened?
No, I didn't shut down. I was obviously sad, but it
Of
took a
course,
couple of days. But yeah,
yeah, a
eventually got back out there.
couple days. Man, didn't take weeks. Okay, that's interesting. Man just took days and got back out there. Wow. Okay. Um, but the point that I'm making is it's the same thing here, right? Like, why didn't you just take weeks, years, and just shut down? Why not? Why did you decide to get back out there?
Because what's done was done, you know. Why
Mm,
why sit for weeks and sulk in it?
yeah, I mean, you have to move on, and part of getting where you want in life, and I'm sure you went on to like date other girls, or just have better experiences. You worked on yourself, you grew. I would assume, correct?
Yeah.
Right, right. So part of the journey of success, the journey of like life and all these things, building businesses, having success, having freedom, which I know you want in your life, be able to give back to your family, be able to be that man who's like creates a better future. Part of it is getting back on the horn after having been burned, man. That's the truth. Part of it is that. Um, like that man who has freedom in his life, that man who builds his business to a level where it's 10, 15K. And by the way, more, because I think with us is just the beginning point. So I'm saying like, I think he could be at 50 plus K. I know you're not thinking that now, but that
Right.
guy who's there, like, does he say the past is the thing that's going to control what I do next? Or does he say I'm going to move on from the past? I'm not saying it's easy, but what does
Mhm.
that guy do? You notice Ty and everyone here, but Ty, you made the slight error. You notice how, or no, was it Ty or who made this? I don't know if it was you, Ty, but someone I think made this mistake. You notice how I'm not going for commitment to start? I'm not. I didn't say what does he do here in terms of starting. I angled it to does he let the past control what he does next. So it's like with partner at the end of partner. I'm not saying does he start? Yeah, it was Utah. I'm saying does he has a conversation about beginning. So I'll continue. So like, what does that guy do? Because frankly, brother, he doesn't allow the past to control what happens next. That's just what I feel. But tell me if you
Mhm.
think I'm wrong.
No, you're definitely right there. That future version of myself that's making that kind of money is for sure already moved on.
I mean, that's the truth. It's you move on. So if so now what's interesting is I'm not going to actually offer a guarantee because he didn't give me any value of indecision. He just said you're right. So I wouldn't offer a guarantee. I would go emotional crossroads. I'm not going to role play them. You guys have heard enough of them today. But that's what I do. If he gave me hesitation, if he said no, you're right, I just man, it's I would say listen. Let me. I would jump in and then go guarantee protocol. Makes sense.
Tim, would that be the same if, let's say, I came back as the prospect and said, "Yeah,
Let's just
I
do
hear
it.
you."
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's
Okay.
role play it. So what after the thing I just said with what does that guy do?
I think even before that, just like, do you feel like we can actually help or something?
Oh, triple buy-in.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go there. So I mean, with all that, like the first thing I just want to know is do you feel based on what we went through here, man, you feel like we even can help? Because I know earlier we checked in, you said yes, but I know that all the stuff that happened in the past is kind of weighing on you. Do you feel like we're a bit different, man, and we're committed to showing you, helping you get to where you need to be, or how do you feel?
Yeah, I definitely see the value, man, and I'm sure you guys offer, a great coaching
I
program.
wanna be clear, James. And sorry, James, I cannot do the role play without selling the way I should normally sell. So I would cut you
Okay.
off now. Sorry.
Gotcha.
Keep doing what you're gonna do, but I have to
Yeah.
qualify this. What am I gonna qualify? He said I see the value. I don't care if he sees the value. I want him to believe that I can help him. Because it's not about
Yeah.
like the value on paper. It's about do you feel we're gonna get you to the benefit, right? Like pitching
Yeah.
structures. So just to be clear, James, I'm happy to see the value, but my goal really isn't for you to like see the value here. It's for you actually to feel like we can help you make a change and put you in a better position. So that's kind of what I was asking. Not do you think it's valuable? I think anyone would feel like it's valuable, but like,
Yeah.
do you feel like you coming in 6 months, you're going to be in a better position? Because that's important for me.
Yeah, I think so. It's just the way I make decisions now after being
Mm.
burned, it's like I'm not saying it's you won't get me there, but that's just the
Yeah.
way I make decisions now
I
after
know
the
you're not
last.
saying that. I know you're not saying
Yeah.
that. Yeah, dude, I'm cool with you making decisions like that. Though the one thing that I would say though is, I guess, it's kind of one main point. Time doesn't help you make a better decision. Like when it comes to taking the time, what would you be weighing in your head and how would you make that decision better? Because I feel like the only thing will be information. So what's coming up for you in terms of the time? Again, just to see if I can help. Like time won't help you make a better decision. It's just information.
Yeah, I hear you there. It's just like you mentioned, like a gut check earlier. So it's like
Sure.
in the gut check in the moment, it might be different if I sit on it for, let's say, another day or two.
Well, I would agree with you actually. If you're at the kind of the starting point now. You came here to make change. I couldn't imagine you'd be here for 45 minutes talking to me about this and even hop on another call after what happened before if you weren't serious, right? So right
Yeah.
now is the most serious you are about making change. So let's say that you turn your face on it and walk backwards now after you realize we can help. You feel like we can put you in a good position to succeed and you turn around and actively go against it and say, let me put more time in between it. I'll tell you, absolutely, your gut's gonna tell you not to do it. I can answer that for you here. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
your gut will tell you not to do it, of course, because there's fear, there's anxiety, there's what does the future hold? All that's going to come up. So I just want to know what's the decision making process like? What are you, I guess, going to go and sit on over the next 48 hours that would be coming up just to see if I can help at all because time isn't going to help you, brother. Like time won't help you. It's just the information.
Yeah. I really don't have a response to that.
And we would end up talking about the past, and then I would say, can I go into kind of something real with you, man? And then I would go girlfriend analogy again.
Okay.
Tim, just last question. So in terms of the triple buy-in, it would be, do you feel like what we do can help you? And then the other two stages would be what exactly of the
What do you mean? Oh, there's two stages. I'm confused now.
well, the other two questions, or is that third question the triple buy-in?
So triple buy-in is just doing another check-in with them, just like, hey, before we continue, I just want to check in again. Do you still feel like we can help? After
Yeah.
all we've gone through, after all this fear talk and this discomfort, do you feel like we can even help you? Because it's important.
And it's by doing that, is that water in the soil before I drop the analogy?
Yeah, it's all part of watering the soil. Yep, it's part of making him ready to receive an analogy because these analogies are very powerful, guys. You know, so you want to time them correctly. All right. Anyone got one final question, or should we zip? We're all good. Everybody happy? Did you guys learn? Was this valuable? Cool. Great job, guys. Very good stuff. We'll go into the holidays. I'll see you guys on Friday. Wow, we'll take a week break. And like I said in the chat, we'll add all the time on for everyone. We'll put a week on for everyone. Okay. I'll see you guys later. Take some time over the holidays to rest, refresh, spend time with family, or if you're not doing that, spend time with friends, whatever you do, spend time with yourself, meditating. But just kick it, okay? And we're gonna come back and train hard to open up the new year. I'll see you guys later.
100%.
Sounds good.
See you guys
Y'all
next
have a
Friday.
good holidays.
Bye.
Merry
See you
Christmas.
guys.